Welcome to Wednesday's Revival, where we revive your creative spirit. Now, today, I'm going to be going behind the scenes of a video that we conceptualized, storyboarded, shot, and edited, all in like 5 days. So let's get into it. So this whole film was shot on the Red Komodo. I was flipping between the Meike, I don't know how to say the lens still. I always ask and I never look it up. Meike 35, 50, the Sigma 18-35, and for one shot specifically, I used that $60 50mm lens. The one that Mark Bone talks about. Started with an H, I think. Helios. Oh, Helios. That Helios lens. So the story behind this video is, I don't know if you know about the story in the Bible, the woman in the well. Well, we were like modernizing it in a sense. So we are taking metaphors. We are using it as a metaphor for like what's going on today, all the controversies and troubles. I'm not saying any of them because I don't want to get shot down. But obviously, you know just as much as me that there are tons of controversies and heavy topics going on. So we took those and we're kind of making it a metaphor. So she is searching for the well. And for those of you that know the story in the Bible, the woman finds the well thirsty, but Jesus says, through this well, your thirst will never be quenched, but through me, it will. So it's basically I wanted to show these beginning scenes of her looking for the well as dry. So it's very warm, orange, dry. Believe it or not, the field was very green and luscious. It looked really good, but I wanted it to look dead. So these first two shots, the sun, it just looked really good out there. So I didn't have any bounce or any equipment at all. I just had the Red on a tripod. And then as we moved in, the shot with just her hand, I put a scrim above her. So it softened that light even more. And again, the Red on a tripod, I had the lights above to soften. And then as we go through these, it goes through those quick, almost interpretive montage just to quickly show all the different modern day controversies. And then we go to the shot, the very distorted look of her up close to her face, and that's kind of going from that montage, showing that that's kind of what's on her mind. So the distorted cuts of her looking around, that's kind of giving the viewer the information that this is what she's thinking, and this is why she's on the search for something. So establishing who she is, where she is in the conflict. Revolving shot was cool, but I was using a steadicam by Tilto. I put my Zhiyun Crane 3S on top of it, and that's kind of what we used for this shot. Super cool. The sun was down far enough that there was literally no harsh light. Like, this was perfect time to be shooting outside. So then after this drone shot, kind of introducing our next scene, it goes through this build up, and then we end sitting in the woods. Now you can see that blue color is back. It's simulating that there's more color where she is. There's more hope where she is. So this shot, honestly, was probably my favorite shot of the whole thing. And it was probably the easiest shot of the whole thing, and used technically the cheapest shot of the whole thing, because it was the Red, but I put that Helios on, and I just walked behind her with the handheld look. Truth be told, we tried to do this all in one day. Completely my fault. I am horrible at underestimating how much time things take. So this whole first part was no scrim, no anything. It was just using the natural sun, because also us being in the woods, it looked good because there were different like peaks of light coming through, very textured light, which looked really cool. And it was really cloudy, so it helped with not having to use a scrim for everything. The shot was another simple one, just tripod kind of panning, following her, introducing the well. I don't know how good that well looks, but I just went and bought. It probably looks like exactly what I did. I just went and bought a bunch of cinder blocks from Home Depot. It was supposed to be bigger than that, but as I was putting them in my car, I started like rubbing my tire, and So I had to take some out. So most of this shoot was mainly just tracking the sun. It was a lot of pre-production, figuring out where the sun was going to be so that we could use natural light. We didn't have to try to have a bunch of lights out there. Now the lights we did use was for this well shot right here. I had my F22C at a very cold temperature shining out of the well just to give a creative, as she walks into that light, it is revealing that she has found something of interest. She has found something that is hopeful, bright. So I pan up as she walks in, she looks up to God, kind of like, thank you. So this is our resolution. And then we just get multiple shots of her kind of praying at the well, giving thanks for what she found. And again, all of these shots was just natural with the light in the well to give hope, showing that the well is the answer. So this is one of those shoots that it was very minimal, but I've got to say, I think it's probably one of my favorites from this past year. So the message behind this is you don't gear is super fun. Gear is great. Believe me, I'm a gearaholic. Miranda was actually making fun of me because I was thinking about making a video about how gear isn't super important, but I set up all this stuff. So, but in reality, this was not a lot. This video was one of the most minimal videos I've done, and it's one of my favorites. So if not having the right gear is holding you back from creating, that shouldn't be what's holding you back. Because if you can have a proper story, which I'm not saying this was 100% fully executed perfectly, make sure to go ahead and start, because when you can start and when you can push yourself to be creating, you're only going to get better through experience. Thanks for watching. It only takes one to don't focus so much on buying all of the gear in the world. It only takes one to go ahead and start filming or go on that project that you've been waiting to do. It only takes one to make a change, and it only takes one to change the world, and that could be you. Speaking of gear.
See you next time.